Right, so we have our first method to get all countries in this service. What we could do is we could test this just to make sure we get some data back in the country list component. So if we navigate to the country list component, we can actually create an instance of the service by injecting it here. We can call it data service. Of course, that's the best name we can come up with. Again, if you don't like using data service, please name it country service or something better, or country provider, whatever you want. So here we've injected an instance of the data service. What we can do is we can create an observable because here we're trying not to subscribe and having to then unsubscribe from every observable. So we're just going to create an observable here and then use the async pipe in the template. So we could create an instance. We can call that countries dollar, and that we want to set it to everything that we get back from the get countries method. We could declare that we want it to be an observable type. We don't know yet. We're going to add the type, and actually we just create a new observable. So now we have our countries observable, and in a template we can actually test this. So just use the async pipe to subscribe to this observable and pass in the JSON pipe so you can actually see the data, because it's going to come back as an object. So passing the JSON pipe will essentially make it easier for you to see, or just make it readable if you like. Right, let's look at the wonderful work that we've done in the browser. And there's nothing here. That is a big surprise. I hope you know why this is not working yet. If you don't, that's fine. We're going to find out why it's not working yet. So I'll give you a hint. So we we have a country list component, but we haven't actually told Angular to show the page anywhere, or the component anywhere. So of course we can't see it. Right, so back in VS Code, we are going to look at the app routing module, or app routing module, whatever you like. And here we're going to add a path to the country list component. I have a snippet. Hopefully this will do it for me. Sometimes it actually doesn't work, so this is quite slow, but it should kick in. Doesn't look like it's going to work, so I might as well just type it out. So essentially for this we want a path, and we could set this as the default path. So we set it to nothing, and the component that we're looking for is the country list component. Well, that's what I named it. IntelliSense has not been good to me at all. It's not been great. Right, so we have our first, and I guess the only path for now. And again, if we don't type anything, if we don't go to any, this is the root if you like. So this is the default route. If we don't type anything in, this is where it takes us. So essentially this will be the home page. Right, let's look at what we've done in the browser. Nice. It looks like we are back in business. So we subscribe into the observable, the country's observable, and we using the JSON pipe is of course transforming the object to this format for us to be able to see, which I think is brilliant. The next thing that we're going to do is actually copy everything that we've got here. I don't know if Control A does it. Now it copies more than I need. So I'm going to just drag everything down, which could take forever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract interfaces from here. And what I can do is use this to this site. This is so useful. So essentially, you just paste the JSON here, and unless I didn't copy it, oh, I did. You paste the JSON here, and then it will generate the TypeScript interfaces for you, which I think is pretty neat. So as you can see here, we don't care about the module namespace, so you can ignore that. But from the first interface, you just copy everything down, and that is essentially all the interfaces that you need, which I think is pretty neat. Right, so back in VS Code, we are going to paste the interfaces that we copied. We're looking at countries. We then have a shared folder, and here we have our service. So we can actually create another folder. I don't think there's actually a need for it, because I don't think we're going to need more than one. Actually, I'm going to create a models folder, and we're just going to put all the interfaces in one class, in one file. But you don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to do it that way, you could break these up. But I'm going to put all of them in. Again, this depends on the team. Some people don't like it at all. They like to have an interface per file, if you like, instead of having everything in here. But I'll just paste these in here for now. So this is what we copied. So we have the currency interface, language interface. We're not going to need a lot of these, but we have them, so why not? The regional block, I don't think we need it anyway, but this is the root object. So we could name this, don't name it root object. Essentially, this is what comes back from the API. So we can name this country, we can call it country response, or country. Yeah, I think country response is okay, because that's essentially what we get back. Or we just call it country, actually. I don't know. Names, yeah, they're really hard. Or we just call it country, because I think that's, the country will have all of these, so just call it country instead of country response, I think. Yeah, we'll have country files. Yes, we'll call it country. Done. Yeah, of course you can name it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it country. Right, so now that I have a type, what I can do is I can go around, and wherever I have any, I'm going to replace any with the right type. So here we are getting an array of countries. Again. That's that. Nice, so slow. And here we also get an array of countries, so why not? That's what we're getting back, so we might as well put a type there. I think there's one more place where we actually used an any. Where is that? I think that's in the country list component. So again, we're going to go here and change the any to an array of countries, because that's essentially what we're getting. And that's that. I think this is a good start. So we actually call in the data service, and we're getting all the countries from there. Of course, we're using the countries observable here, so we don't need to subscribe and unsubscribe. And in the template or in the HTML, all we're doing is we're calling the async pipe on it, which I think works pretty well. And if we look at our wonderful work in the browser, once it finishes loading, we should be able to see all the countries there. Oh, still loading. That's very slow. Right, so there we are. All the countries are here, which is amazing. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to create cards, um, country cards that will display the country information.